let's dive right back in and help make dinner not so boring with some really awesome sides. You guys already know how much we love different side dishes here. I love making different things so that we don't have to have the same 4 or 5 things on repeat over and over again. This week I'm sharing 3 that we really, really love with you. I also cannot do this video without mentioning a side that we did very recently in this video right here. This is a grill favorites video, and we grilled sweet potatoes with a sauce on the top, and it was so delicious. You definitely have to go check out that video when you're done with this one. All right, tonight I am going to attempt to make these Greek style potatoes that we get at a restaurant that we love. I don't know if these are gonna turn out quite exactly, but we're gonna try them and see what happens. These are just little red potatoes. I am going to, most of them are small enough that I can just quarter them. This one's a little bit bigger, so I'm going to cut it into each side into 6 pieces, so 12 total. But like I said, most of them are smaller than that. Next step may be slightly unnecessary, but just stay with me here. I'm gonna add about 1/4 cup of olive oil to this blender cup. Let's add around 1/2 cup of lemon juice. So I actually might go a little less on this, maybe 1/3 cup. Now, if you are going to roast these in your oven, you wanna add more broth than I'm going to add. So I'm just gonna add maybe a couple tablespoons of broth, but you're actually gonna add a whole cup of broth if you roast them in your oven. I'm gonna do these in the air fryer. You wanna add a good amount of garlic. So I'm gonna, actually, let's mix all of this together and then we'll add the garlic and the oregano. I wanna make sure it gets nice and combined. I'm gonna add in a good amount of garlic. The recipe actually calls for 8 cloves, so like I said, it's heavy on the garlic for sure. 1/2 tablespoon of dried oregano. And the recipe does not call for this, but I am gonna add a little bit of dill because we just love the flavor of dill. And let's mix this together. Now, if you're gonna do this in the oven, you need your oven preheated to 340 degrees, and these are gonna take about 60 minutes. But like I said, we are gonna try these in the air fryer and see how it goes. Let me pour this over the potatoes. Now, you want to get your potatoes nice and coated. And in fact, you're gonna see there's a lot of leftover olive oil and dressing at the bottom. I am not gonna throw that out because we are going to drizzle these potatoes once they are completely cooked in that same stuff. So we wanna make sure that we have a little extra if we need it. All right, you guys, we're gonna try 400 degrees for about 10 minutes. We'll see where we are from there and then shake halfway through, do all the things. I'll let you know how much time these end up taking. All right, guys, 10 minutes was not enough. So I did shake these halfway. We're gonna go, I don't know, I might even try another 10, just seeing where we are, and there's a lot of potatoes in here. All right, you guys, I think these are done. Overall, we took about 22 minutes. All right, I did taste one of the potatoes and I feel like it needs more salt. So I'm gonna add a little bit more salt to the dressing here, mix that together, and then we'll drizzle over the potatoes. And just to add a bit more color, I'm just going to add some parsley. All right, friends, here are the potatoes, the Greek style potatoes that we are having with dinner tonight. These Greek style potatoes were really delicious. They weren't exactly like the ones from the restaurant that we get that we love so much, but I'm gonna keep working on them. And you guys know if I perfect it, I'll bring them back to you again and I will show you the perfect recipe. But these were a very, very good substitution for those. As we are entering into the warmer season, we are going to be making some more spring and summer sides. And this one right here is so incredibly easy to make. You can make it ahead of time. on. You can even make it the night before if you really want to prep things and make it easy on yourself the next day. I'm telling you, so delicious. It is so refreshing. Like thinking about it actually makes me want this again right now. The first thing that we need to do for these marinated cucumbers, onions, and tomatoes is to make up our dressing. So I'm adding about a half cup of vinegar here to a measuring cup, and then I'm gonna pour in 1/4 cup of sugar and then add 1 cup of water. And with that, we're gonna start to mix that together a little bit just so that sugar can start to dissolve. And as we see it dissolving, then we can add in our other ingredients. So approximately a 1/4 cup of oil, and then you add in salt and pepper, but you can add whatever kind of spices or herbs, flavors that you enjoy. I also feel like red pepper flakes would be delicious in this, and it would give it just a little kick. We're gonna cut up our tomatoes into wedges, and I am using 3 tomatoes. You can use however many tomatoes you need to serve your family. Once we've cut them into wedges, then we will just add them over here into this bowl where I've already poured in that dressing. I'm also going to be cutting up 2 cucumbers. And we have pretty large cucumbers, so I feel like this will be plenty for the family. I'm cutting these in half and then just cutting them into slices and adding them into that bowl as well. Now, instead of regular onions, we are using green onions, and I'm just cutting these into little pieces, and I'm gonna toss those in with the tomatoes and the cucumber. And then we can cover this and just let it chill in the refrigerator for a couple of hours, even up to overnight. I told you guys this was so incredibly easy. I am going to pour off some of the marinade before we serve it in a bowl, and that's just so it's prettier in serving, but it's really not that big of a deal either way. So we're just pouring off just a little bit, and I'm gonna serve it up here, and this is going with dinner tonight. It is so delicious, so refreshing, so perfect for a hot spring or summer day. You guys are going to love this one. If you haven't tried smashed potatoes, it's just basically a couple of extra little steps, and it takes red potatoes, or really any type of potato, to the next level. You have to try these. Get anything else started for this recipe, I'm gonna fill my pot with water. So I'm using a pretty large pot, but you would just want to use a size pot that's going to just slightly cover however many potatoes you're going to be boiling. For this recipe, I am using these red potatoes. They're not the really little ones, but they're kind of like a medium-sized red potato, which I think is perfect. For our family, I've gone with 8 of these potatoes. My mom is also coming over tonight, so I wanna make sure that there is plenty for everybody. These are going to boil for in between 20 and 25 minutes, and then we'll move along to the next step. The potatoes are done boiling. I'm gonna transfer them to this parchment lined baking sheet. I'm going to take my potato masher. I want these to be about a 1/2 inch thick or so, so we're going to smash these down. Now that these are smashed, they're gonna get drizzled with olive oil. So each one is gonna get olive oil. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be so good. I'm also gonna add salt to each one. Again, I like to sprinkle the salt from up high, especially when doing something like this, to make sure that it doesn't kind of clump up in one area. I'm also gonna add some garlic powder and just kind of dusting over the top of each one of these with the garlic powder. I'm also gonna dust with some onion powder. This part is not typical of smashed potatoes, but we're going to put a little bit of freshly grated Parmesan cheese onto the top. It really doesn't need much. This is just gonna add a touch of flavor to each one. All right, these are going in the 425-degree preheated oven for about 20 to 25 minutes until you see nice and crispy edges. Our verse this week comes from Habakkuk 2:14. For the earth will be filled with the knowledge of the glory of the Lord as the waters cover the sea. I hope you all enjoyed this sides video, but don't forget we have plenty of other side dish videos. You gotta check them out. Definitely check out this one first right here so you can get that sweet potato recipe. Then there is another one right here, and that's gonna give you even more sides inspiration. You guys know I love changing things up. I love having different side dishes and finding new ones that I can share with you. So check out those videos if you need more inspiration. If you're new here, I'd love if you'd subscribe and stick around. Don't forget to hit that bell though, because that's how you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. So if you don't want to miss, you got to hit that bell. I hope you're having a great week. Bye.